medication that made me escape the little girl in me that was harmed, mifemphin. So I struggled with keeping my trauma silenced. So it led me to using for 22 years. I don't want to really talk about drugs too much because I feel like it's not important. I feel like the recovery piece is very important, but how I got here is very important too. So I didn't know what treatment was. Alhamdulillah, give it up to Minnesota, man. I got here at the age of 25. Right about when Donald Trump became president for the first time. And people were getting deported. It's the first time I went to jail in 2017. I came here in 2015. I moved here the next day, I got a job. I came here with my addiction. I stopped the opiates when I was about 18 years old. And I started drinking and I started picking up heavier drugs as I went along. About 21, now I'm doing, other drugs, right? I came here in 2015, alhamdulillah, to pick it back up to where we're at today. And I worked still addiction. I did not know what treatment was. Nobody in the East African Somali community came and told me there's a rehabilitation center and all I needed was state insurance. But down in the line in 2017, I got into some trouble. And the judge said, I really need help. He said, you need to go to treatment. I came out with an ankle monitor and a skull blower for my alcoholism. When I came, I went to Abibo. After being there for about 3 weeks, I got kicked out. I got kicked out because what are you doing out there after 10 p.m., right? I couldn't really express what happened to me as a child to my family. I kept it to myself. My family really didn't know until about last year why I used, right? And that was a relief from my back. So I've been trying, if you guys do the math, I've been using for 22 years, right? And then I was in recovery on and off since about 2017. We're in 2022, so I should have had a decade in recovery right now. But because we make mistakes and there's so much stigma in the community, I decided recovery wasn't for me. I decided that no one can understand me and life was going on without me. People were going to, to their family, to their houses. They didn't care about me. They didn't care about who I was, what ducking I came from. I didn't know how to love myself. See, that was the missing piece, love, right? Because I was harmed from my protectors, I didn't love myself. So 2022, fast forward, I just came back from a relapse. I relapsed into George Floyd, and the COVID pandemic happened, and I decided, I'm like, oh, okay, I can't go to my treatments virtually. I went back out. It's the shutdown, man. Let's keep it 100. It's the shutdown, and I was on a 2-year bender. March 2022, I got into trouble. April, I got into trouble. May, I got into trouble. In June, I got into trouble. I got into 7 different charges, okay? I haven't been convicted. There were charges, alhamdulillah. I had a chance to beat them. So, when I say beat them, it's like change your life around. So I woke up I got in trouble on May. It was the last day I've used drugs was May 31st, right? And I went to jail, and when I went to the jail cell, when I had this video, I don't like this person. I don't know who you are, but I knew, and I didn't at that point, right? That's the real struggle for me. I knew I was sick, so I decided at that point that I didn't want to be a khufka. So, I said Bismillah, of course, and I went to bed. And I woke up the next day and I prayed with my, busto. This is a time of surrender. I was like, if Ilahi could work for other people, I feel like at this moment of disparity, it could work for me. I prayed my salah, and it's the first time I had a connection with Ilahi since 2014, maybe you could say. And it didn't feel forced. I really wanted to pray. I felt sick. I felt disgusted. I got a letter, and when you go to, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but we get court papers, us troublemakers, when we go to jail. And I got a court paper, and it said, harm to a point where I didn't want to harm them. In my point at that mind, I'm self-defensing myself in the streets for survival. So I was protecting myself from somebody that wanted to harm me. So that's a little bit of my story. I don't really want to, I wanted to let you guys know how I got here. At that point, I knew Ilahi gave me a sign after praying the second day. He said, help your people, you can make money, You really need help, right? Let me tell you, make money, go to school, help your people, and just keep making dough, and I'm here with you. I don't know, it's kind of weird, because I've seen a couple of, you call on Lahi. That's what I was told. So I was scared, and at that point, I said, oh, all right. So you telling me I might have a chance. They kept me in there for a month, but I got out, went to an inpatient treatment facility. I got out, I asked for a long-term treatment facility, and I was there for about until I had 12 months, and then I got my first job. I went into my CPRS training, and I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of easy job to do. So I became an assistant manager of a recovery community organization. It was my first time, and that's when I knew that everything that the girls told me in jail was true, and then there is a treatment facility, and it's a Somali treatment facility. So I met some nice guys at the GMCC meeting, and they told me, hey man, we want to go to meetings. Like we want to go hang out, and then they welcomed me, and I started coming to their graduation. I see them succeeded, and I was able to provide services before I became a CPRS. I was able to get the guys from Access Healing Apartments, and it was beautiful because that just shows you that there's really no gatekeeping, right? Anyone can help. I didn't like it. On and off, oxycodone, Percocet, all type of prescription medication.